Thank you so much, Madam President. It is a true honor to address the highest governing body of the NEA. So I want to start by saying thank you. To Becky, Princess, Noel, the NEA Executive Committee and Board of Directors, and you, the delegates to this 100th Representative Assembly, thank you. As President Pringle told us yesterday, she's never been prouder to be an educator. Well, Madam President, on behalf of the NEA staff, we have never been prouder to support you and our 3 million members in service of the students and communities we love. Wow, are we lucky to have you as our president. I also want to thank our amazing management team, particularly Sabrina Tynes-Morris, who envisioned this incredible first ever virtual representative assembly, along with the entire NEA staff for their incredible dedication to our union. Delegates, in addition to this being the 100th Representative Assembly, we also mark another important milestone. 55 years ago, delegates helped merge the American Teachers Association and the National Education Association. And with that, a new multiracial coalition was born. And that beautiful coalition got to work on our public education system and our democracy. They marched for civil rights. They fought for equity in education. They activated a massive network of educators and parents and students that fought to lower the voting age to 18. And exactly 50 years ago, the 26th Amendment passed in record time. We did that. You did that. And NEA, we know we've never been perfect, but we've always made progress. We've helped protect, improve, and expand our democracy and our public education system when our country needed it most. And this moment yet again calls us. Over the past 4 decades, we've seen the anti-democracy agenda on steroids. Paul Weyrich, one of the architects of this agenda back in 1980, famously said, and I quote, "I don't want everybody to vote. As a matter of fact, our leverage in the elections quite candidly goes up as the voting populace goes down." Imagine that. My friends, the structural erosion of our democracy is real, and it's happened right before our eyes. It's the Supreme Court allowing corporations to line the pockets of politicians with unlimited donations and calling it free speech. It's state legislatures limiting access to the ballot and shuttering polling places in Black and brown communities and calling it election integrity. It's foreign adversaries spreading disinformation and undermining our vote without consequence. It's public figures here and abroad sowing seeds of distrust across the country and around the world. And at a time when 30% of Americans believe that the 2020 election was stolen, an election that was certified by dedicated bipartisan election officials in every state, we know that our work is more urgent than ever before. Educators, democracy depends upon an educated citizenry. And with every fiber of my being, it is increasingly clear that you, our nation's educators, must be the ones to save our democracy through a world-class public education system. We're here today because generations of NEA activists, organizers, and agitators dedicated themselves to imagining a more vibrant, more inclusive democracy and system of public education. They knew the two were inextricably intertwined. And delegates, when we listened to President Pringle's vision yesterday, I hope that you could see the road we'll travel together, the pathways informed by our history and fueled by our desire to transform public education, our democracy, and our society. So what's the challenge? The key to rescuing democracy is twofold. First, enough citizens need to prefer democracy to the alternative. And second, they must be able to trust the institutions that form the backbone of a free society. To restore faith in our system, we need an electorate with the will and the skill to fix it. And that means ensuring that students understand our full history, where we've fallen short and where we've made progress. It means teaching people to be discerning, engaged citizens and compassionate leaders. And it means giving all students the tools they need to contribute to our society and lead full, happy, healthy lives as adults. Our democracy is the foundation of a society which is supposed to value equal voice, respect for all, and the dignity of spirited but civil discourse. And where do we learn to put those values into action? In our schools and on our campuses. In other words, my friends, the answer to a weakened democracy is a strong, just system of public education, and it is our job as members of this union to fight for it. A strong public education system serves everyone. When we remedy its inadequacies, we do it for every student. And so, as Becky said, our ambition is to give all students, all educators, and all communities the support they need to excel without exception. It's a bold, glorious vision. And President Pringle, as your partner, I am very proud to say we are already turning it into a reality. First, we're doubling down on increasing the number of community schools around the country. These schools go far beyond kill and drill testing to respond to students' individual needs, from physical and mental health care to language support to occupational therapy and more. And we know they work. And I'm proud to report that NEA has launched a community schools institute with 39 affiliates, and just 2 days ago, and just 2 days ago, the NEA Board of Directors approved an investment of up to $10 million over the next 2 years to help implement the historic American Rescue Plan. Now we can follow the lead of NEA New Mexico and the Maryland State Education Association in scaling community schools statewide. Community schools are models of democracy, with the voices of students, parents, educators, administrators, and community members shaping them, supporting them, and improving them. Put simply, a community school constantly seeks a more perfect education for its students. And that means it's more likely that its students are more likely to seek a more perfect union. Second, we're continuing to build a culture of professional excellence through union-led professional practice and career supports. I always say that the best asset of any membership organization is the membership itself. And so everywhere we turn, NEA members are crafting professional supports for their fellow members. We call it by members, for members. It's professional learning with and for colleagues, webinars, micro-credentials, professional practice leadership cohorts across the education professions. All this is being organized by your union and fueled by you. When I think of the professional excellence pillar of our union, I dream of the day when every single member proudly says, "My union helped me become an excellent practitioner, and I want to pay it forward to the next generation of NEA members." By members, 4 members. From our affiliates in New Jersey, Illinois, Alaska, to Delaware, Nebraska, and Florida, this union is leveraging the brilliance of our own members so that we can deliver our best for every single student. Third, we're leaning in to racial and social justice with an acumen and an intensity that this moment calls for. We are cultivating leaders who put equity at the center of their practice and their advocacy for their students. That means developing racial and social justice professional development. It means creating toolkits for action. It means funding grants that help our members and community partners demand better for all students. We are standing up for the rights and dignity of every student and every educator, whether they are white, Black, Latinx, Asian, Native or newcomer, multiracial, LGBTQ+, rural, urban, or differently able. We are doing that. Delegates, I am the proud mother of a college student and a recent high school graduate. And I have seen every day what you see. America's students expect us to be honest with them. They can smell a con job a mile away, and they are supremely offended when adults tell them what they can and cannot handle. If our public schools are the first laboratory of democracy in students' lives, then we absolutely owe them complete, accurate lessons about our nation's past and present. Facts, critical thinking, respectful discussion. There's nothing divisive about that. That's the free marketplace of ideas. That's the pathway to understanding. That is democracy in our schools and lecture halls. And that brings me to you. The people with the heart, power, and imagination to change the world. The sheer outpouring of selfless love over the last 18 months from teachers and education support professionals and other dedicated public employees, with car parades and TikTok videos and virtual story times and grab-and-go meal sites. It has been breathtaking. Your love is breathtaking. When you are this essential, you deserve not just gratitude, but protection and security, a good paycheck with good benefits, so you enter your professions and you stay. And this union is here to fight for exactly that. And this union is also here to amplify your voices and your solutions. And that's why I'm so proud of the $3 million we are investing in a partnership with the New Jersey Education Association to spread labor management collaboration systems across the country. When educators have a voice, when their solutions are heard, educator turnover goes down, student learning goes up, community engagement goes up, and everybody wins. Yes. And another win. In Arizona, AEA won a historic victory by passing Proposition 208, Invest in Ed. AEA, your leadership secured a $1 billion increase in public education funding. Education Minnesota, you fought to win a 2% increase in per pupil funding and new funding to hire counselors, psychologists, social workers, and nurses, along with a dedicated effort to diversify the state's teacher workforce. In Illinois, Illinois, your Eric is cheering for you from here. The IEA won an expansion of family and medical leave coverage for education support professionals so our colleagues don't have to choose between their health and their jobs. In Oklahoma, New Hampshire, Montana, and Florida, our affiliates fought off serious attacks on labor rights. And in Kansas and North Dakota, we defeated voucher bill after voucher bill after voucher bill. And Princess, our own beloved Virginia, VEA worked to overturn a long-time ban against collective bargaining for educators. And Dr. Fetterman, I know you're watching. Come September, those authorization cards are going to start rolling in. Yes. And come November, VEA is going to keep the General Assembly in good hands and elect Terry McAuliffe, Hala Ayala, and Mark Herring to the top jobs in our Commonwealth. Let's give it up for NEA members in all of these states. Your union is proud of you. But it's not just our voice and our solutions that matter. It's our votes and our organizing that make change happen. NEA. Over 233,000 NEA members volunteered during the 2020 elections. Together, we made 275,000 phone calls and sent nearly 2 million text messages. NEA, 93% of our membership turned out to vote, and we turned out thousands more friends, family, and neighbors. We absolutely helped carry President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris to victory. We elected pro-labor, pro-public education lawmakers across this country. And now, the next step is not only to cast a ballot, but it's to be on the ballot. If we want to transform public education, we need to put education professionals in office, like our dear friend Nafa Anderson, lifelong educator and organizer who was elected to the Nevada State Assembly and is using her experience and her position to fight for Native American students in all of Nevada. Like Muriel Hall in New Hampshire, who was just elected to the New Hampshire House, beating back a pro-voucher, anti-democracy candidate. Delegates, as I said last year, we want to see educators run, see educators win, and see our students succeed. Time and time again, we have shown that when our students need us, when our fellow members need us, when our democracy needs us, we answer the call. In 1970, Elizabeth Duncan Kuntz, the first Black president of the NEA, said, "The world is awaiting an awakening in the American soul. The world is watching to see if the noble words in the Bill of Rights will become a reality for all." And 15 years later, NEA President Mary Hatwood Futrell challenged us again to innovate, to evolve, and to settle for nothing short of excellence in our professions and for our students. And today, our own President, Becky Pringle, carries forth their legacy with a new challenge: to use our imaginations to transform public education once and for all, to be world-class and to be just. I would submit to you, NEA, that when we do that, our democracy will be more inclusive and just as well. The appetite for change in our country has never been greater. Americans are looking to heal from a devastating pandemic, from divisive rhetoric. They are looking to fight for the America we see in our dreams. They're looking for unifying, multiracial, multi-generational coalitions to lead us out of the darkness. Coalitions that we've built time and time again in our union's history. And